What if I were to tell you that there's an actual hack that you can do in your mind to be able to make sure that motivation never gets in the way of you doing the things that you absolutely want to do? Stick around to find out how.
Welcome to the R.Y.S.E Movement Podcast, a place where legends just like you learn how to raise your standards everywhere.
Welcome to another episode of the R.Y.S.E Movement Podcast. In fact, the last episode for the year. We'll be picking up back on the podcast in mid-January 2024. So thank you for being here for a part of the ride. I'm Dave, and for those that are new here, because it seems to be there's a lot of people since some things started popping off on YouTube and TikTok and a few other places, welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's get into figuring out what is the number one thing that you need to do when it comes to hacking your motivation and dopamine system so that you never have to be motivated ever again. Recently, I asked a question inside of my R.Y.S.E Movement Health and Wellness group, and also inside of an ADHD group that I'm a part of as well since getting diagnosed. The question that I asked was, what are the things you struggle with health, fitness, and wellness wise? And I got a whole host of different answers from so many different people. It's really interesting to have a look at the discrepancies between the group versus the ADHD people and the, I guess, neurotypical people inside of my group. There's a few things that were correlated because I have quite a few neurodivergent people around me in my ecosystem inside of the R.Y.S.E group, but also inside of the ADHD group. I saw some things that I've seen before from a couple of my clients when it comes to inconsistencies and stuff like that. So before we go into any of the answers, I'm going to lay it out here because I want you guys to have this knowledge to be able to understand how to apply it straight into your life. Whatever you value the most is what you're going to do unconsciously without having to require effort and motivation, just full stop. You're going to be able to do whatever your high value things are in your life, just like that. It's going to be literally that easy. You can have endless amounts of energy. It doesn't matter what time of night it is. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter how much caffeine you need to have, what's going on in your outside life. Whatever you value the most is what's going to stick around. So I'm actually going to give you guys a link down in the description. I'm going to pull it up on my computer now. The link is to Dr. John Demartini's values hierarchy, and it's just a free workshop sort of thing that he does. Demartini. I should have had this pulled up before. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. Demartini Value Determination. Discover what drives you. So I'm going to link this down in the description. I'll put it down in the comments as well on YouTube, just so that you can understand. It's a free service. All I want you to do is watch the videos, listen to Demartini talking about values and how important they are, and then go through and answer the questions for yourself. Figure out what it is that you're driven unconsciously by with your values. So a couple of episodes ago, actually it was a while ago now, talking about value standards and the lover archetype from, where is that book? Where is that book? Sorry, guys. Here we go. I just rearranged. I got a new bookshelf, so I don't know where any of my books are, even though I'm the one that put them away. Anyway, from this book here, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Talking about the lover archetype. The lover archetype is all about the instigational energy. It's the one who sets the standards. That's what the R.Y.S.E movement is birthed from. It's birthed from that lover energy, because I'm a massive lover myself. Yes, I am a warrior as well. However, lover starts everything. Everything starts with the lover archetype. The lover is the one who sets the standard, the values, and also your belief system. The opposite side of the lover, the shadow side of the lover, is the prostitute. So anytime that your body is for sale, that your values and standards and requirements are for sale, your body is then turning into the prostitute. Your body is for sale, your values are for sale. So you're prostituting yourself for someone else's injected values into your life. How does that sound? How does that feel? It feels pretty disgusting, doesn't it? So the reason why we start with the lover archetype when it comes to motivation, standards, values, requirements, belief systems, these sorts of things, is because that's what you're unconsciously driven by. Everything starts from that level there. Everything starts from the lover. Everything starts from that instigational energy, hence instigating. That's what that word means. So we're going to have a look at what your values are. And I want you to do Demartini's values elicitation to be able to figure out what is unconsciously driving you. I do Demartini's values every year. Every 12 months, I set up and I figure out what my values are to see if they're still in line, see if there's anything that I need to be aware of that might be changing, or the intention behind the values and stuff like that might be shifting as well. For myself, I'm going to log in now. Okay, so the last time that I did this was the 16th of July, 2023, and my three highest values, 54% is purpose and meaning. That's what I value the most. So behaviors, thoughts, feelings, things are around my purpose and meaning. So majority of my values from the lover archetype are instigated from that level there, from purpose and meaning. My next highest is family. So I'm a family man. If you guys know me, you know that how much I love my family, how much I dedicate my life towards my family. My purpose and my family are so intertwined that they are basically one and the same. My family is so fulfilling and so loving and so beautiful for the simple reason because they're a part of my purpose. So my purpose is to end generational trauma worldwide. And a part of that is making sure that my family is held up to that same standard. It does put a lot of pressure on the girls' shoulders. However, I'm here to be able to help make sure that the amount of challenge that I put on them is balanced out with support as well, which is one beautiful thing about my purpose. I can challenge the fucking shit out of you, but I'm also going to support you through it as well. So it's a nice little synesthesia that happens there. And then coming in at 23%, the third highest value that I have is fitness and wellness. So in here, it's actually got jiu-jitsu and training, which, you know, I've spoken a lot about jiu-jitsu. I've made so many pieces of content around training, around the gym and exercises and stuff like that. I value these three things beyond belief. Like, these are the most important things into my life. The last time that I did my values elicitation was the 12th of January 2022. And then it was 33% my purpose, 28% my family, 23% health and wellness, and then 15% education, which I believe that the education component from last year got absorbed into my purpose and meaning aspect for this year, which is really interesting. And then before that was December 2020, and my values were personal mastery, family, technology and escape, and also eating. I was super disempowered in 2020. I was still really overweight, if not obese. I was struggling with everything. Life was so damn hard because I wasn't acting within accordance to my highest personal values. I found so much struggle in 2020 from creating the business, from getting clients, being healthy. Like, everything was just like pushing shit uphill, and it was really, really challenging. However, now I'm super fulfilled. I have so much alignment in my life. I did a video on social media. If you guys haven't seen it, I suggest you go down, click the link in the description to be able to go watch this video, talking about how easy things are meant to be in your life. The doors are meant to be open. Red carpet's going to be rolled out. Like in the video I said, there's cherubs going to be singing. There's going to be holy music. Like, everything's going to be like, holy shit, like, he has come, she has come. Like, you know, witness them, their mastery, witness their glory, sort of thing. That's what your life's meant to be. It's meant to be, like I said earlier, it's meant to be the tipping point between challenge and support. All of the challenges that happen in your life when you're on purpose, when you have meaning, when you're fulfilled and you're successful and you're on your straight and narrow path, you're going to have equal parts challenge and support. And the challenges are going to be fulfilling. The challenges are going to be uplifting. The challenges aren't going to be setbacks. They're not going to be things that are holding you back from achieving your glory, achieving your zone of genius. So when it comes to your values, understanding your values is helping you move through life easily. It's helping you move through life with purpose and meaning so that things aren't hard. The amount of shit that I've had in my life that has just upended things, that has been roadblocks and pain and just setbacks because I wasn't on the straight and narrow path, because I was living by someone else's injected values instead of living by my own. The biggest thing that I've learned this year is that your values matter more than anything else. If you want to change your values, this is what we're getting into today with this episode, you have to be able to link the things that you want with your highest values. So I'm super lucky when it comes to health and wellness. They're a part of my values because that's who I am. However, most people, health and wellness isn't going to be a part of it. So if you struggle getting to the gym, you struggle eating well, you struggle, with the sugar and drinking alcohol and these sorts of things that are actually holding you back from health and wellness, but there's a part of you that wants to do health and wellness. You want to be happy, you want to be healthy, you want to be strong, lean, fit, athletic, all these sorts of things. This is the way that we do it. And the way that you do it, you link your highest values with that thing that you want to do. And then eventually it'll become part of your values. The way that we do this, so hypothetically, let's say health and wellness wasn't a part of mine, but my family was a little bit higher and purpose and meaning in my career was a little bit lower. And let's say technology or cars or something like that from my past, which was a value, is in my hierarchy of values now. The way that we link this shit together to be able to make sure that motivation never becomes a problem ever again and you're driven by your unconscious values always, is you link them together. So the question you ask is, how would greater health and fitness allow me to be a better father? How would greater health and fitness allow me to be more in tune with my car? How would my health and fitness and gaining more health and fitness allow me to have more purpose and meaning in my life and be more driven in my career? And that's the question you need to ask yourself, to be able to link your values together so that the thing that you want to have that's not a part of your values right now becomes inspired. So inspire means to breathe within, means driven internally rather than an external motivating factor. You link them together. And the way that you link them together is by asking that question. How would this be related to this? And then you list as many things as possible in the positive sense to be able to link them together. So it would allow me more time. It would allow me more health. It would allow me greater longevity in life. These are some of the things that I would consider when it comes to asking, how are these two linked together? How is my health and wellness linked to my career? How is health and wellness linked to my family? So go through, do the values elicitation, figure out what your values are, spend some time on it. It can take upwards of an hour, hour and a half. Spend some time on it. Make sure that you're answering truthfully so that you know exactly what you're driven by. So that way you can stand into your archetypes in power, in the light archetype, not being in shadow, not being in the prostitute energy. Because anything that gets birthed from the prostitute energy, it's dirty. It's disgusting. There's a sense of resentment around it because your body's for sale. Your values are for sale. You're not for sale. Set your standards, set your values, set your requirements, set your belief systems, and then link that shit together with something that is purposeful, something that is allowing you to be super fulfilled in life. Okay? All right, so let's get into the groups. I'm going to chuck my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat. So let's start with the ADHD group and what they said. Okay, first person. I don't like exercise. I have POTS and I can't do anything strenuous without passing out and I can't focus. So many limiting beliefs inside of that. But that's their experience. I'm not judging or anything like that, but they are limiting your perspective. Walking the dog's the only thing that I enjoy, and I have to have music or a podcast, and I can't be walking anywhere too busy or overstimulating. Absolutely, I 100% understand that. So if you are ADHD like myself and like the lovely people inside of the group, one of the greatest ways to be able to hack your dopamine system, and this goes for neurotypicals as well, but one of the greatest ways to be able to hack your dopamine system is use fast-paced music. Use fast-paced music because it's going to spur your body on to be able to increase your respiratory rate, increase your heart rate, and it's going to allow you to do the things that you don't want to do. How I clean the house, because cleaning is such a low value priority for myself in my values hierarchy. However, for Rach, it's a really high one. So the way that I link them together to be able to get me to do housework is I go, okay, well, my second highest value is my family. My first highest value is my purpose and meaning through the R.Y.S.E Movement, through my coaching clients and all these sorts of things. If my second highest value being my family, Rach being my family, if I'm not meeting the ends of the agreement to be a great fiance, to be a part of the household because cleaning's not a massive priority to me, I'm going to lose parts of the fulfillment level inside of my family aspect of my values. So what I do is I use some music to be able to get myself pumped up so that I can get all energetic, use a bit of caffeine as well. It helps now that I'm on Ritalin to be able to help get me into my executive functioning, and then I can go do whatever I need to do. I don't have to think anymore. I don't have to procrastinate on it anymore because I know that Rach has such a high value around it. I link that shit together so that I don't have to be motivated to do it anymore. If you were to ask Rach, she'd say that I need to help out more, which is true. Like I absolutely need to help out more. I should help out more. If you remember a couple of episodes ago talking about shoulds being injected values into your own mind, it's not a high priority for me and it's not a bad thing. You just need to have the discussion around you and your partner or whatever it is that you're struggling with to be able to get understanding and compromise so that you can negotiate an outcome where you're both happy with the outcome. Anyway, back to these. So motivation, consistency, these are some of the big ones. Motivation, consistency, monotony of the gym. Okay, motivation, consistency, and monotony of the gym. Find something that you enjoy that gives you novelty. Even neurotypical people, you need novelty in your life. You need something that's exciting. One of the biggest reasons why I hated training and I put on so much weight when I injured my back in 2017 was because training became monotonous. Training became so hard. It became a thing that I had to do instead of I wanted to do, or instead I could do. Training became something that I had to do to be able to fix my back. Training became something that I had to do to be able to rehab so that I wasn't in pain anymore. And because of that language there, notice the language difference, I had to train to be able to fix my back versus I could train, I want to train. A great thing, little sidebar, have a look at the way that you use language. Language is a great way of understanding our internal representations in the way that we're seeing the world, the way that we're perceiving things. So if you're using things like, oh, I have to do this, I had to go to the gym, I have to go pick up the kids from school, I have to. Have to means that you're extremely uninspired and you're extremely disempowered. When you say, I have to do something, it's like there's a puppeteer above you pulling the puppet strings, making you do something. It feels disgusting. Whereas, if you were to change the language and say, I get to, I choose to, I love to, that's the most empowered way that you can be. Anything coming from love is the most empowered way that you can do it. So I love going to jiu-jitsu. In fact, I'm going to be leaving for jiu-jitsu in in about 20 minutes time. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I get to go to jiu-jitsu. I love going to jiu-jitsu. So again, linking the two together. If your values are around something else and you have to go to the gym, you have to eat well, you have to get more sleep, whatever it is, figure out how you can get to the point where it's like, I love to. Start with, I get to, I choose to. That's empowering. It's not disempowering by saying, ugh, I have to. So flip the language. Then you can get to the point where I love to. I love to do this thing because it allows me to have more fulfillment. It allows me to have more fulfillment with my family. I love going to the gym because it allows me to have longevity of life so that I can be a grandfather and get down on the floor with my grandkids and play and all these sorts of things. Link the two together and understand the language that you use is an internal representation of your mind, of your soul. All right, now to my group. Sleep. I'm getting better though. My brain will weigh up the pros and cons of whether or not I should sleep right at that moment or stay up and eat some sugary shit. Do not eat sugary shit. You do not need sugary shit. And for that matter, you're not a dog. Do not reward yourself with food, okay? Stop that shit right now if you reward yourself or your children with food. It's not a great place to be. Myself, I got brought up on Friday night sport, so I would go to do my sport, soccer, taekwondo, whatever it was, and then afterwards we'd go to Macca's or we'd go KFC or whatever we went to. It was a link in my head that the moment I do something sport related, especially on a Friday, then I get rewarded or I get some kind of like takeaway food. It was a horrible food association that I had to unwork inside of myself. And I know so many of you guys out there have the same food hangups when it comes to fast food and the convenience of it, especially on a Friday night. Break that shit down. Go make more conscious choices so that you can be healthier, have better wellness, so that you're not having to worry about, the KFC shits and all these sorts of things. As when it comes to sleep, create a routine. I know not a lot of the ADHD guys and girls that just heard that, you cringed at that a little bit, but you need routine. One of the greatest things that humans do is we thrive in routine, whether you like it or not. Every single night, I have a routine where I'm in bed and asleep between 8:30 and 9:30. The only time that I will ever let that go by the wayside is Thursday nights when we have our guys catch up and we play Xbox. Every Thursday night, I'll stay up until maybe 9:45, 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to bed because I have to be up at 4:30 the next morning for clients. 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Go back and listen to the episode of the podcast where I speak about sleep. I'll link it down in the description. But also go listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Dr. Matthew Walker talking about sleep and how important it is to sleep. You need sleep. Sleep is one of the most important, underutilized performance enhancers in your life. And again, if sleep isn't a high value to you, link it to the things that are. Do the values hierarchy, figure out how you can link the two together. Arthritis affects my body movement. Fitness isn't too bad, but alcohol is something that I'll be working to drop in my life, at least the amount that I am presently consuming. Interesting. So arthritis, you can absolutely fix arthritis. Arthritis comes down to inflammation. If it's gotten to the point where it's a chronic pain, then you're going to have to do some other things. You might have to look at peptides. You might have to look at your sleep. You have to look at the amount of inflammation in your body. What foods are you consuming which inflames your gut, which inflames your joints? Things like that. That's the things that I'd be looking at. Also, the quality of your breath. How oxygenated is your body? Are you breathing properly? Are you doing actual breath work where you can release energy out of your body? And then alcohol, set standards around alcohol. Don't be unconscious to the behaviors that you're doing where all of a sudden you pop a bottle and you can drink a bottle or two in a night. Figure out what is a healthy level, what is a happy level where you can create some compromise in your mind. Maybe you want to have 2 beers, maybe you want to have a glass or 2 of wine, but figure out what your level is and then never let yourself go past it. If you do let yourself go past it, chalk it up to as just being human, but hold yourself accountable, hold yourself to higher standards. Same thing, enjoying my social life with eating and drinking, and it's not in your meal plan. Yeah, 100%, I get that. When it comes to eating on a meal plan, if some people like to sit nice and rigid and strict, this is one of my clients, the biggest thing that you need to do is let yourself have parameters where you're not sticking to your meal plan so that you don't have the guilt associated with it. And again, coming back to that old saying that I had a couple of minutes ago is you're not a dog. Don't reward yourself with food. Don't reward yourself with alcohol. It's a terrible behavioral adaptation that you've done. You need to be able to uncouple it. So when you go out and you do socialize, have some fun, but be in control. You're a fucking adult, for fuck's sake. Don't let yourself go off the wayside so that you can fall off the boat, fall off the wagon, and then all of a sudden you're 15 beers deep, maybe even got onto the nose beers, and you're doing something that you know is gonna fuck up the next few days for you. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Allow yourself time to be able to be hedonistic, absolutely, pleasures of the flesh, but at the same time, hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't be a fucking idiot. You're better than that. You're stronger than that. You're smarter than that. You know what to do. You know the right thing. Everyone knows the fucking right thing. It comes intrinsically inside of you. You know the right thing to do. But that's all we're doing for today. Link your values to the most important things in your life so that if you have things that you have to do, have to go to the gym, have to eat well, so on and so forth, link it to your highest values. How is going to the gym, eating well, getting plenty of sleep, not drinking so much alcohol, allowing me to fulfill my top values the most? Bang, done. You don't even have to worry about it anymore. All of a sudden, you're going to be inspired from within. It might take a few goes to be able to get it right so that you can link them together properly, but be the lover. Start with the lover archetype. Become the lover of your life. Become the lover to be able to set the standards, values, and requirements of your life, and you can't go wrong. And if you ever prostitute yourself, just know that it comes with a bit of resentment, it comes with a bit of disgust, and you're not going to feel good while you do it. Have an amazing Christmas and amazing New Year's, and I'll see you guys early 2024.
Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for subscribing and leaving a review. It really helps us out. Until next time, take care and much love.